Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you some power plugs here, okay, that I have. Okay, now these are typically plugs that you find on your appliances and stuff like that, but what I'm really here to tell you about is this interesting plug right here. Okay, as you notice, it's got 4 pins, alright, so that is quite an interesting plug. Now that plug came with the inverter for my WireGuard batten, okay, which I brought from the electrical store yesterday, that inverter. And now I showed you the batten, okay, which is complete, but that's the plug that came on it. Okay, so if you purchase a Lifelite Pro in the maintain switch live function, you'll get a plug like that. Alright? That is actually quite interesting. Alright, I've never seen a plug like that before. So usually you'd find is a common 2-pin plug like this, which is a double insulated plug, usually on double insulated appliances. Okay, this one only has 2 pins. Okay, and the next one you'd find would be a 3-pin like this one. We have an earth pin like that. Okay, so that's your 3-pin plug. This one here is very common to find on some certain appliances, such as all my lights have them. My mercury vapor light, so some of my dad's appliances, such as his coffee machine, his computer, and all that, they usually have these type of plugs on them. Okay, the only ones that have double insulated ones will be iPad chargers, phone chargers, and stuff like that. But this particular one here is actually quite interesting. As you notice, it's got an extra pin in the top there. Okay, it's got the standard pins on the front, as you can see here. If you look at the front of them, you can see it's got the standard 3 pins. You got your standard live, neutral, and earth, but it's got this extra one. That's because this one here is for an extra live. That is for a switched live. This one here is an unswitched live. Okay, usually you'd have a switched live on a PowerPoint, which I have right here. Okay, so the live is this side, I think. Check, here it is. So this side here is live, and this side's neutral. This one's earth. Okay, and the switch here would turn that on and off. As with this one here, it has an extra pin. Now there is a power point for that plug. It would have an extra hole right about there. Okay, that would allow you to use it. This is actually made by Clipsal. Okay, so Clipsal would probably make a very similar power point to this, except with the extra pin hole in the center. So this particular plug will not fit in that because it doesn't have the extra hole. Okay, but this one here will. Okay, and of course a power point for this, you can actually use that in it. Okay, because it just doesn't have the extra pin on there. Okay, and this double insulated 2-pin one will also work in a power point for that as well. So if you take a look at this, if I try to plug that in, you see it's not going to go in because it doesn't have that extra hole. You have to have the right power point. So you need the extra hole, and people can't just drill a hole for there because they could damage the mechanism inside there. So you need to buy the power point for it. Okay, and I don't have a power point to show, but it'll be the same as this one here, but it will just have the extra hole at the top there. Okay, so and I don't know how much these are. I think these aren't cheap, these 4-pin plugs. And the power point for these probably won't be as cheap as what I expect them to be either. Okay, but that inverter I purchased cost me $300, so I think I had to pay for that, so that probably was quite a lot of money as well. The inverter itself probably wasn't cheap either, but if I had excluded that from the order, I probably might have gotten it a little bit cheaper. But I decided to take this anyway because I just wanted to keep it as a collector's item. And the pins, this pin here is actually brass. It does not have this part on the top here. I'm noticing it doesn't have that. Okay, it should have that. As you know, they got these black things on there that they use as insulation to prevent things from getting in between it. But that's a switched live, so that would plug into a power point like that with an extra hole. So you got your unswitched live, which will be on all the time. But this one here, you use the switch and it turns the fitting on and off. So if you do plan on getting a maintained Lifelite Pro fitting with the switch live, be aware that you'll need to you would need that power point to suit it. Okay, if you don't have one, you'll probably need to get one and install one. So generally up in the ceiling here, you will have 4 wires because that's what we have. You would have an earth, you would have a neutral, you would have a live, which is unswitched, and you would also have a switched live. Unswitched live wires are usually white. Okay, they're usually a white wire. The unswitched live is either a brown or a red wire. The neutral is either blue or black, and the earth is green and yellow. Okay, that's generally what you'd see up in your ceiling. If you look on the back of this PowerPoint, you can see it's also got the code for when you wire it up. And there's your switch there. Generally, you would have a white wire going in there. Okay, that will be your switch live, and that's what was in this when I got it. Okay, it did come with a cord that was this thick, and I think it was almost like a 15 amp, but it wasn't 15 amps, it was 10 amps. Because the earth pins, I do believe they do make these in 15 and 20 amps, but the pins will just be the bigger ones. But this here is your standard one. This is very common to find, and this one here is your 2-pin one. But there's also a 4-pin one like this, which has this round pin up the top. They do make plugs like this with round earth pins and stuff like that, but this is a 4-pin one. That's usually for where you have 2 lives. So that is the Clipsal 4-pin plug. Hope you enjoyed, and that'll be it.